Hello inflatable fans, I hope you're all well. The machine, Nun's Chuff, and there's my boat. And that is the mighty Loch Ness on one of the final stages, stage 4 of our great Glen Canoe Trail trek. Let's do this one. And off we go.
Off to see Nessie.
Off to see Nessie, yeah. Now what we're going to do is we're going to head in a direct diagonal line across to the other side, and then we're going to be following the far side all the way down. So that's kind of Fort Augustus area there. We're going to have a little bit of a crosswind on this one. Probably tell that from the waves, but it shouldn't be too bad. You've only got to get to the other side. A little bit wavy, a little bit choppy. The machine's over there in the distance. We're just kind of heading for that bluff there. We're nearly at that bluff. There's quite a hefty backwind. Camera's probably picking that up. Quite enjoying riding the waves actually. Been doing it about 4 miles an hour, 4.5 miles an hour, which is quite cool. Made it. There's a sheltered little cove here. I'm going to just hover here and wait for the other guys. The machine's trying his sail out by the look of it. There are sheep on there with little lambs and it's so steep. Well, goats. Look at the mist across the top of the mountains, the low clouds. Little waterfall there. I'm curious as to what that's been there and why. I mean, it doesn't look like there'd be any good reason to have anything built there. I wonder if it's been carried there. Little hut there, I don't know what that's for. Probably says private all over it. Yeah, pretty much. It says no camping or fires near the boathouse, please. I wonder if that's the Nicky Nocky boathouse. Those of you who know will know. Nice little waterfall coming down here. Quite a big one at the back behind the trees. Look at that, wow. Who says the Itiwit can't do good stuff? Is that the X100, Steve?
Hey?
Is that the X100?
Yeah.
Oh. This camera probably won't pick it up, but just kind of on the horizon there. I mean, there is a bit of land in the distance, but kind of above that, there's like a rainbow hue. Really big, sort of like kind of going from there to there. Big to us anyway. Cracking little waterfall there. Nice little step down one, isn't it? Goes all the way up there. There's a buoy and a sign there. I think it says weight limit 7 tons total. Don't know what that's about. Like a broken boat there. That's not very reassuring. Will the camera pick up that rainbow? So just to give you an indication of how big Loch Ness is, I mean it's about 1.7 miles from one side to the other at its furthest point, but you know obviously it's wide. Can you see how the difference there, that's a rain shower moving across the tree line. And you can actually see it really clearly, the difference. It's not often you get to see things like that. We're looking for somewhere to camp for the night now. It's about 4:30, and what we're probably going to do is try and find somewhere early and then set off early tomorrow. Now this is the Foyers area. Not sure whether we're going to stay here or not. There is an official campsite here. We may stay here, don't know yet. Right, so we've cheated a little bit, if you can call it a cheat. It's not really. What we've done is we've camped up at Loch Shaw's campsite, which is one of the caravanning club's campsites. Just because it was easy, it was reasonably priced, and we fancied a shower. And to be fair, it was me. I've decided that we'd do this and I've paid for it because I just thought, yeah, let's have a night of luxury. So we've got proper toilets and showers and stuff over there. As usual, I might be last on the water, but I'm first with the tent set up. The 2-second tent is a bit of a winner. Right, so if you've got one of these, I packed this away wet today, and what I did find was, yeah, you can possibly see that there are some water droplets in the tent, so I've left it airing. I'm going to dry it out before I put the sleeping bag in, obviously. But yeah, just something to be aware of if you ever get one of these, that if you pack it away wet, you will get water in it, and it will need to be thoroughly aired before you next use it and dried out. We've had something to eat and we're settling down for the night. We're planning on setting off relatively early tomorrow. We might get this knocked off. We might not. Tune in! I would just say that these three boats have performed brilliantly. So we've got the Itiwit X100, the Chelan 140 and the Advanced Elements Convertible. We've had a lot of fun with these, we've really enjoyed it. If anybody is actually thinking of doing the Great Glen Canoe Trail in an inflatable kayak, it is doable. We have had some bad weather where we kind of got a little bit scared. Bit scared, but so far we've been all right, and it's just been fortunate. This has been planned for about 6 months now. We've been very fortunate that it's not been horrific. It's been mixed is probably the way to describe it. Yeah, very good. Now there's a soul much braver than ours. Very brave.
Nobody made you go in.
And we're off. It might be a bit mean. You can certainly see there's a change in the water as we get out of this cove with the wind against us. Ooh. Alright, just having a little breather in this cove. Quite nice. Don't know if it's my imagination, well, it's not my imagination, but it seems a bit calmer here, just hugging this coastline. Might make a bit better progress. Well, that's a bit random. Wonder what that's all about. That's seen better days. Over there in the distance, you've got Urquhart Castle. We're getting blown about a bit here, as you can probably tell. Oh, it's a bit exposed. Just pulled in for a little breather. It's been a real slog. In the last 3 hours, we've done 6 miles. It's been a right battle. This is the type of paddling I particularly don't like, because you can't stop. As soon as you stop, you get blown backwards. So yeah, it's been a bit of a chew. We've got a bit more to do to get out of this area. So we pulled up to empty the boat, get all the water out of the boat because there's a lot in it, and make a brew. Right, here we go again. Had a nice little coffee break, little pit stop, and we're off again. And we're heading straight ahead. Now the wind's supposed to die off at 3 o'clock, and it's 1 o'clock, so we're not going to get any joy with that. In fact, you probably can't even hear me, it's that blustery. I'm gonna swear, this has been such a f***ing slog, and don't get me wrong, there's some bits that I've made entertaining for my own pleasure, but by and large this has been so f***ing monotonous and dull. This is everything I f***ing don't like about paddling. It is currently 3 o'clock and we've been just constantly at it, apart from the odd little break, since just gone 9, and I am fed the f*** up. Oh shite. I am pulling up here to stretch my legs before we go on to the last bit. It's not far to go to get to where we're probably going to stop, because we're not going to get this whole thing done today. This has been such a f***ing slog. I'm so f***ed up. I feel better for saying that though. Yeah, I do feel better for having had a bit of a shout. Bloody hell, do I need a break. We've decided we're going to stay here where I jumped out. There's a nice little area there where a bit later on we're going to set up some tents. We're going to have a little fire pit going there. There's just so much firewood here, and it's really sheltered from the wind that's blowing kind of this way. For the last stage of this, the wind will be blowing in our favour. It will be blowing that way by the time we get up in the morning. And I don't know whether you can tell from this light, but my left eye has started to play up. Because of my paralysis, I have no control and less ability to kind of blink with this eye. And yeah, it's kind of got a draft in it, so everything at the moment, when I look through that, everything is just mist. I can barely discern anything. I can see shapes and stuff, but it's just all gone a bit funky. So Steve's shoulder's playing up in his elbow. So yeah, we've decided, yeah, well, you heard my rant. So we've decided to make the best of this situation. Started emptying the boat, got the stuff out, got a fire going, got a couple of ciders in the fridge, and I need to get some water. Now this does have a tap water filter in it, so I figure running this through, see the colour of that, running this into there and then running it through the tap water filter should be pretty good. So this is our view for the night. Horrible, innit? Oh well, that bit is. Well, we've had a chilled out night by the fire, talking crap, and yeah, it's time to settle down. So we've got the last leg tomorrow. I think we've got about 8 or 9 miles to do out of what we're going to do. So we've got the wind behind us, which is a bit of a winner, or we should have anyway, unless the forecast changes, but it should be a bit easier than today. Right, okay, I'll see you in the morning. Right, off we go. Final leg of this journey. Oh, it is nice to have the waves behind us. I think you can probably see the V in that mountain there, in that landscape. That's where we're heading. So that's the view from where we've come from. It is quite fascinating because from here you can't see Fort Augustus, you can't see where we launched from onto Loch Ness. I have to say, I have had a great time with these guys. Starting that kayaking group has been one of the best things I have ever done in my life. I kid you not. We are currently travelling at around 3 to 3.5 miles an hour, sometimes a little bit more. Whereas yesterday, when I had my paddy, we were doing about 1 to 1.5 miles an hour. And we did that for about 6 hours. 9 miles in 6 hours. Yeah. Needless to say, I feel better today. So far, anyway. Today I finally get to say with some conviction one of my favourite things. You can't beat bobbing around in a boat in a big expanse of water. This is level 10, John. Level 10. It's not in short supply here. Over there, just to the right of that tree line, you've got Loch Ness Beach, and that's Dores or Dores, D-O-R-E-S. Correct my pronunciation if you think it's wrong. But we're heading to this side of that tree line through that gap there. Behind there is Dores Beach, just round that corner. It's 2 miles from where we camped last night, and it's taken us about 40 minutes to get here today at around 3 miles an hour, just because we've been pootling. Yesterday at 1 to 1.5 miles an hour, that would have taken us close to 2 hours. It was definitely the right decision to hole up last night and to call it, to stop early. Definitely the right decision. We're now entering the narrow bit, the bit where Loch Ness narrows off at the top. I'm going to wrap this video up there as the end of stage 4. The next stage, stage 5, basically is the trip home along the Caledonian Canal again. So this, when I say home, back to Inverness where we parked. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments. Alright, you take care of yourself. Thanks a lot now, cheerio.